มีอะไรไหมครับเชิญ
Okay. Uh, and for the in the and for the part the section part in the afternoon, everyone must register enroll in the another time. When I sorry, okay, I put the link for the registration on the Zoom chat, and everyone should complete the register form again. And in this form, you must check the spelling, your name and surname, because it's the important thing that to the issue the certification. Okay, because I am confused about name and surname. Okay, and then we have a break again on at the half past 2. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Okay, in the lunch time, I continue with the one question that about the prelim. This is the example that I participate the program in moisture, protein, ash, pH. No, this is the code number. This is the interim report. Okay, no, our lab here, code number here. So the interim inputting like this. Okay, the parameter you can see from moisture they have 2 sample. Other they have only code A sample. So it depends on for the collusion. Some lab may got B, B, A, B, B, something like that. But it is the same in the meaning of the PTP may it depends on this is different, no? This is a different value. But in some round you may using the same value as the like what prevent the collusion here. But in the interim report, this is the total of result, the SI value that PT provider intended to use, and they have like this is like they set the limit and upper and lower limit, but the lab here is here. So from my side, when we check, we will see this is the value that we submitted or not, the measurement uncertainty or not. If it is true, so we can say that okay, I accepted this in the report. So you can see that this is like the form that they did, like the example, no? So everything is according to 17043. Yeah, but only one page for the interim report. No evaluation, but if you know the formula, we can calculate by value here minus the SI value divided by sigma PT here. So we will got the C-score. But the interim intended use is used for checking the data that we intend to report. After that, maybe from the interim report, after that is around 1 month, they may have the final report. So this is depending on the organizer that do you want to have or do you don't want to have. It depends on you. It's not a regulation or the mandatory requirement that it is. So like I said, some PDP may not have, some PDP may have. No, this is the example of the interim. And another question that I before lunch is can provide guideline on temperature control during the PT sample transport. In general, because of we check the stability of the of the parameters. Nowadays they have the like it is like equipment that we call the data locker. I think if you want it in the box and then send forward and then let them send back. So this is another way that if you want. But in general, we don't put the data locker because finally we will check it using the stability. If it pass, so it means the condition that approaching about the transportation, we don't care. It means the final answer is part the criteria. So I think that's all of the question. I think. Okay. Now I continue with the lecture on again in the 7.3. 7.3 is a long story of PT. The handling and storage. 7.3.3.1 from the time production to their distribution to participants, the PT provider shall ensure the PT items are appropriately identified and stored to prevent the contamination and damage or deterioration. So this means, as I mentioned, that when you prepare sample finish, you make a smaller bag or smaller bottle and then put a label, and that number you need to have the number in the bottle, and then you randomly selection for the FOMO, for the say, and also for the participant. The remaining that you keep in the room temp, you keep in the refrigerator or keep in your fridge. So you have to have identified, the PT item are appropriately identified and stored to prevent contamination. PT provider shall have appropriate procedure for this pack to and receive form storage. So you have to do as a record form. And you have to write the procedure that how to do this pack and how to do the receipt form. I think you already have this one. The PTP, the condition for store PT item shall be addressed at the specified interval or prior to distribution in order to detect possible deterioration. So usually when we prepare the sample, we will, as soon as possible, we will distribute to the participant. So, but if you have the specified, let's say 1 week, 2 weeks, so you can mention and then distribute to the participant. And also don't forget about this topic is dealing with the handling and storage. So the condition that you use, you have to have the record. Usually we record, as I said, record every day. It's at least every day, except during the weekend. So you may not come in to check in, but if you have the data logger, in some lab they have the data logger and they connected to an online, so it means you can monitor an online. I think it's better than the paper. Where potential hazardous PT items are used, facilities shall be available to ensure that their safe handling, decontamination, and disposal. So when you dealing with the hazardous PT, so you have to have in terms of the safety of the aspect in your lab. For packaging, labeling, distribution of PT item, the PT provider shall control package label to the extent necessary to ensure the conformity with the relevant national, regional, and international safety transport requirements. So this is like the one that we have to do because of this is the international acceptance that we have to, especially for the one that hazardous. We have to have like the data to show, to demonstrate, and document to demonstrate that your sample is and what is the hazard that you have. The PT provider shall document related environmental condition for the transport of PT. This is like if necessary, environmental condition shall be monitored during transport. This is as I example to you that in case of in terms of microbiology, they may need to control under 4 degrees Celsius. So you have to have dry ice and also the data logger put into the sample. But in general, no, you can say that okay, we use the routine room temperature. I mean for the sending the sample, and then you check the transport stability is enough. Okay. Anything else? Please receive when you complete. Okay. Not the question, no? In the PT scheme, where participants are required to transport to the PT item to other lab or return them to the PT provider, documented instruction of this transport to ensure validity of PT item shall be supplied. So in the document for the participant, you also need to have the condition, the temperature, the humidity, everything that you need to control. The PT provider shall ensure that labels are securely attached to the packaging of individual PT items and are designed to remain legible and intact throughout the PT now. So this is, you have to have the way to protect when you keep, especially when you keep into the refrigerator or into the fridge. They have the ice, they have the water after recall from the refrigerator. If you use the marker or the detail that is not good enough, it will have the problem. So this is, you have security. The PT provider shall follow a procedure to enable the confirmation of delivery from the PT item. So this means you have to do the contact with the logistic system that you use, you know, to have. I don't know that in your country do you have, but nowadays they have an online to check that okay, the delivery test item is directly to the participant. So we have the tracking. We can call the tracking system that we can know where is the PT sample is go to the transport or this is to arrive to the laboratory. Okay, number 5, the instruct for participant. So the PT provider shall give the participant sufficient notice before sending the PT item, following the date which the PT item are ready to be arrived and dispatched. So this is like you can use an email. Usually we use the email to notify that okay, next week on the date that okay, the sample will be go to your lab. So please prepare your facility to do analysis, things like that. This is like sufficient notice. The PT provider shall give detailed documented instruction to our participant. The instruction you may put into the in the box of the PT sample. In the box you have to have, but some PTP they put like a QR code and let the participant loading the document from the website. So it depends on your design. So but you have to provide a detailed document, everything. The necessity to treat the PT sample in the same manner as routine. This is the way that usually PT item intended to use is tell the lab that okay, this is just the routine item, because we don't want to let the lab like analyze 3 times to ensure that the result is good enough. So it is not the routine. So just make the PT item as a routine of each lab. Detail of the factor that we can influence the measurements or the test of the PT item. So if you have some factor that involved in the PT, so for example, the nature of item, the condition of storage, or the scheme that limit to selected measurement, or etc. The instruction for the preparing and conditioning of both for PT before conducted of the measurement or test that would not consider part of the usual expected. For example, in this case, I have the experience to participate with the international PT program. They mentioned that when you receive the sample, I have to put into an oven for 3 hours and then bring it back and let's start analysis. So it means this is like the instruction that you need to tell the participant that what should do before you prepare. Or in some case, I found when you have like sample between A and B, A may be the matrix, B may be the media, and this is the example now for the microbiology lab. So the direction said that you have to pour the solution in B in the bottle A and make a slowly and then take this sample for analysis. So this is like everything that you need to have. You have to tell the participant. Any appropriate instruction on handling of the PT item, including the safety. Okay, this is I already mentioned. Any specific environmental condition for the participant to conduct measurement or test or both, and relevant participant to report. So if you want to ensure in, let's say, in the room temperature, in 75 ± 3 degrees Celsius, so you have to specify that environmental or relative humidity should be less than 60. So it depends on your protocol. No? Specify the detail instruct on the manner of recording and reporting result, appropriate measurement, uncertainty. So this is like in the form of report form. So you have to prepare and tell the everything in the instruction that okay, this is you have to report 2 decimal place, another parameter 1 decimal place, another parameter no decimal place. So you can tell the participant everything. Okay, this is the mention on unit of measurement, number of significant, decimal place or report basis. This is like on die weight or in LEC. So this is the common that for the in some PTP they intended to report as a dry weight. So dry weight, it means you need to analyze the moisture content and calculation when you just using the equation for reporting. The specific instruction on providing detail concerning the measurement or the test method. So this is another one that we talking in the morning about the method that finally in the assigned value we will see this is something that we need to classify in different group or not. If you have data, this is okay, it's good for the future. Instruction on returning or forwarding the PT sample where applicable. The last date that PT sample to receive result. So this is very important that I don't know that in Vietnam, but in Thailand, they also have the system that okay, let the participant reminding again that okay, another 3 days, this is the end of the report that if that should be provided the result. So if you have the system, it's good that okay, we will have the like reminder of the last date, not only in the instruction. Because sometimes we participate many PT program, so each section will be different documented, but from the email, I think it's much more efficiency in terms of the application for the reporting. Information on contact detail of the PT provider. Okay, this is the information. I think when you when you have a PT provider now, this instruction most of you already mentioned, but in some courses maybe you need to fill a little bit, let's say environmental or in the unit. So please check about the requirement. Are there any requirement that you need to improve or not? Okay, in the chat, okay, please check collection email. Okay, not the question, no. Okay. Are there any question? 7.3. No. Okay. 7.4, no, on the evaluation and reporting PT scheme result. For 7.4.1 on the data analysis. Result received from participants shall be recorded and analyzed by appropriate method. Procedure shall be distributed and implemented to check the validity data entry, data transfer, statistics, and reporting. So this is, I think, I remember that one time in some lab in Vietnam that you also have the data entry, data transfer, but you did not have the record. You didn't have the evidence. So it means that when you key in the sample, you have to have who key in, who check, and after that you have the signature that you already checked it. So this is like the record and analyze in appropriate method. It means when you got the data, which method that you use for statistic point of view. The second is data analysis shall generate a summary statistics and performance statistics and associate information consistent with the statistic design. So this is in the data analysis in the report. Usually they have to provide for the participant about the summary that you use, the performance statistics that you use, C-score, C-PAP score, summary statistics means, let's say, for homogeneity, which statistic you use, stability, SI value. There are many steps that you can keep and summary. The influence of outlier on summary statistics shall be minimized by using appropriate statistic approach. If you use the good statistics, so the outlier will be disappear. So as I mentioned to you before that when we put the kernel plot and we found some outlier here. So if you use the robust statistics, it will use only the data. Sorry, you will use the data that allow the unimodal here, and this is like the outlier. It will minimize. This means you use, let's say in this case, use kernel, use graph test, Dixon test. Okay, which method that you use? The PT provider shall have procedure for treatment data from different methods or test methods. So this is the one that when we have different methods, okay, do you teach the method? Do you grouping into the one SI value, or you separate into two SI value? So depend on you, no? So you like we have procedure. The PT provider shall have documented criteria and procedure for dealing with the measurement of test results that are inappropriate for statistic variation. So this is the error. This is the Gauss error. This is transposition. So usually the error that we found is a huge error, let's say 10 times. Generally, the participant report 1 gram per 100 gram, but some lab only 0.1 gram. So it means this is like something wrong on the like 10 times different from the group. So maybe from the dilution factor, maybe from the calculation error, or they may put something on the report, long digit, something like that. The PT provider shall have documented criteria and procedure to identify manage situation where the items that have been distributed and collected data are subsequently found to be unsuitable for performance because of, for example, because of inhomo, instability, or damage. This is like one of the lists that you may aware, or you may setting up that, okay, when you have inhomo, when you have instability, and sample you are damaged or sample you are contaminated. So you have the document to ensure that this sample is good enough for evaluation. Okay, from the 7.4 point 2, 7.4.2 on the evaluation performance, the PT provider shall use the valid method of evaluation which meet the objective of PT scheme. This method shall be documented and include the description on the basis of evaluation. So the valid evaluation described in 13.2a. So this means that it depends on you, evaluation. Generally in 13.2a, they already mentioned that uncertainty of assigned value should be less than 0.5, 0.3 sigma pt. This is like, if you pass this criteria, it means you can use C-score. If did not pass the criteria, it means you have to use C-palm score. So this is like the documented that we found in the 13.528, where applicable for the objective of the PT scheme, the PT provider shall provide the expert commentary on the performance of the participant with regard to the following: the overall performance against prior expectation, the variation within and between the participants, the variation between measurement or test method. So this is when you have the technical committee. Usually you have act as an expert, so it should be provide some comment on these key things, on overall performance, on within between participants, on variation within the test method. Possible, okay, this is the expert commentary, So possible sort of error, so which may be contaminated with something, or you have suggestion to improve something. Advice and feedback to participants as part of continuous improvement procedure of participants. So you may have an advice or the feedback to participants about this result. Okay. Situation where unusual factor make evaluation of result and commentary on the performance impossible. Okay. The situation where unusual factor, I think about the example. Unusual factor, I don't know on this example. I never have experience on this situation where unusual factor make evaluation the result. Usually we have uncertainty less than this, so we can evaluate. Unusual. Okay. Let's say, for example, I think about, okay, in my previous PT program, let's say we have the XPT, sigma PT, but it is high variation. Okay, for example, from the whole week, let's say vitamin A, we accepted at around 10%. But in this program, we got the relative standard deviation or CV 40% for vitamin A. So instead of we evaluate, we said that, okay, from this case, this is the unusual that we found. So we can say that we will not evaluate this parameter. So this is like you have to have something that get the comment, maybe, okay, this is in terms of the expert, So in general, we have the criteria, but if it is unexpected criteria that you may find. So in this case, I give an example on the percent relative standard deviation that we This is look like the target. And when you got above higher target very much, so it means it's not good. So in this case, we will not evaluate. We can say that not evaluate because this is unacceptable of percent relative standard deviation that we got. Or any other suggestion, recommendation, or comment. This is we need from the expert. And conclusion. Program of the continuity. So this is one way that we show you is like close to the interim report that provide individual summary sheet for the participant, so they know after they submit they know where it in this step. So in this like you can see more detail on this part. Okay, on the 7.4.3 on the PT report. No? In the section, this number contains several small change in words intended to clarify the requirement, but with no addition. Okay, this is again from there. No? In sub-cost of number E is reward for the electronic report that do not contain page number. So in the report, they may have digital number here. So they do not contain this number. Number E, unique identification that all its components are recognized as a portion of the complete report and a clear identification of at the end. For 7.4.3.6 was added for the amendment report. Okay, the amendment when issuing an amendment report to a subset of participants and analysis of the potential impact on the other participants for that PT scheme and all PT round shall be made. Ensure that there is no influence on the general performance of other participants. Okay, for the requirement is mentioned on the PT report shall be clear, accurate, objective, and comprehensive, and include data covering the result of all participants, together with an indication performance of individual participants. So this is the PT report that the participant got the result, like how many samples that passed the criteria, which lab that did not pass the criteria. So you have to have like a table or the summary of clear result that indicate of each laboratory. The report shall include the following unless it is not applicable on the provider that have verification for that doing so. The name, contact detail of PT provider. So this is you have. Usually you remember when we assess you most of the new PT provider got the car is the planning, statistics, and report. Usually this is the three common that we found, but the other depending on the technical point of view. But the report you can see they have many sub courses that you need to follow. Contact, identify person authorized, who is the authorized person. Indication which activity are in the previous version, which activity you subcontract. But this is usually you use the external provider to prepare or to test the hormone, to test the state. The date of issue, the status again, prelim, interim, the final, depend on you. You may have to make decision. Do you need to have this or not? If not, you can, we have only the final report. It's fine. You no need to have everything. Unique identification of each PT round. It is like a unique number, but you have to run by yourself. Some lab may run by year and grounded and sequence in your PC program. It depends on your system. A statement of the extended with result are confidential. Yeah, you have to put somewhere about your confidential that each lab may not know that, okay, who is the number 3, who is the number 6. So this is like the confidential. Unique identification. So you have to run. This is like when we refer to the report number that we have only one report. A clear description on PT item used. Okay, you have to do lighting more on the PT test item, how you produce, how the production, how the homogeneity and stability setting. The result of the depend including the report, measurement uncertainty. You can see they also mentioned several times about the measurement uncertainty in this version because we step up from time to time. Nowadays, the importance of uncertainty is much more increased and increased. So in the future, maybe PTP in Vietnam may request the participant to report and evaluate. For the quantitative, we can improve it. The procedure use statistic analysis of data. The statistic and summary including SI value, length of accessible result, graphical display. There are many wording that you need to fit in these requirements. The detail of methodological sensitivity and sensitivity. If you have the uncertainty and sensitivity, you have to mention, or you have to choose a SI value that have methodological. The procedure used to attribute SI value. Which SI value that you got is from the robust statistic, or from median, or from mean remove outlier, from algorithm A. So the way how to calculate uncertainty is different. The SI value and their uncertainty and summary statistics for measurement or test method by each group. So this you have to classify if you can differentiate between each test method. We have to separate and we can calculate the uncertainty and have summary statistics different group. The procedure used to attribute standard deviation. This is the sigma PT. So which technique that you use from previous round, or from expert judgment, or from Horvitz equation, or from expert, or from participant. So they have 5 ways how to get the standard deviation of protein testing. Comment on the performance. This is like the responsibility of PTP. You have to comment on the participant that they got. Information about the design. So this is sometimes very difficult to do when we have design any means in which information that we have, so we have to provide in the report. The advice on the interpretation of the statistic analysis. So this is usually we have, let's say, t-score less than 2, it means t-score between 2 and 3, it means, we have to have the interpretation statistics. And finally, the comment and recommendation based on the outcome again. This is like the expert or technical expert, they have to provide the recommendation based on the outcome. Okay, there are some notes here, so you can read it. So the particular scheme you have to have a simple report that many elements in this course can be extended for routine report. 7.4.3 report shall be made available to bandwidth impairment. So this is I think most of the lab that did not have the report within the time scale of the planning. So you may have, you have to inform, you have to have as an official, by email or by letter, to tell the participant that okay, you have to postpone the report about this is above the time scale, so you have to let them know about the date that that postponed. The PT provider shall have a policy to use of the report by patient or customer. So this is okay. Do you allow other laboratory that did not participate, or other regulatory body, or other body can ask you for the report, and they may use in the future. For example, maybe Thai FDA, they want to know the performance of the laboratory in Thailand. So we cannot provide which lab that part is valid, that not part. So this is like we have to have the policy to use the report that okay, we not allow other participating that did not involve got the report on this one. When it is necessary to issue a new or amendment, this report shall be included. It means when you have amendment, you have to another unique identification. Usually in Thailand, we have, let's say you have number laboratory, we have like division. We will put R1, R2, R3 after the code number, after the identification number of the report. So it means that this is the indication we know, okay, when we got the report with the R, it means we need to have original one that not revised. A reference to the original report. This is the one that okay, it need to replace or amendment. So it depends on the system. You have to ask from the previous report to send back, or you don't need to send back. You may have some letter that okay, which is the correction that you did, and send to them. Identification of the amendment and statement concerning of the reason for the amendment. So you have to tell why you amendment the report. Okay, you use the wrong statistic. Okay, you did the missing on the data analysis, or you have anything, you have to tell the participant. Number 6, when issuing the amendment report to a subset of participants, analysis of potential impact on other participants for that PT scheme or PT round shall be made to ensure there is no influence on the general performance of the other participants. So this is when you amendment something, if it have the impact to the other participants. So you need to do for the other lab, not only lab that you have the amendment. So in general, just be aware on other participants. If the PT provider issue a statement of participant or performance in addition to the PT report, the statement shall not be misleading. This because this is if it means if you have, no, but in some lab you didn't have the statement or participant, so you can ignore about this requirement. PTP provider in Thailand, they have both. It means they have statement of participation, and some PTP didn't have, just no need to have this statement in the participating in the laboratory or in the PT. Okay, 7.4 is finished.
Yes. Excuse me, Ajahn Kanchit have some question in Zoom chat. First question, how we can limit the use of reports of participants? They can use but not tell us.
Yeah, the use of report. We provide only one report for one participant, no? and usually we supply the code number. We separate the code number. We did not put the code number in the report. You remember, you know, we have like one report and another like letter or email that, okay, your library is, the code number is this one. So it means the report that the participant use, they also don't know about which is the number of 64, 65, they don't know. So this is, we can limit by this way. For I think the one that I have the experience is they separate between the report and code number. Maybe separate mail or separate documented. They separate of each other. The report is come in with today. The code may be tomorrow or vice versa. So I mean, this is the way that in Thailand usually do it. Separate code number out of the report. Okay, that is other lab will use. Okay, it depends on, because the report did not tell anything, just only the number. They don't know which your library is number. So this is, I think I answered on limit not to use. About 7.3D, can we use individual report and final report? Yes. Individual report also it depends on you, no? If you, this is like the image for the participant. Individual report, usually the lab, for me, in terms of the our participating lab, no? For me, I prefer to have individual report, because when we have many parameters, very easily to use for the assessor for the 17025, 15189. So this is enough. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will let me show in the final report. Okay. This is in. Let me see. Okay, sorry. Let me see. I'm looking for the interlink. Got it. I have an example again. No? This is the PT that I participate. No? So in this case, this is the individual report. In this PT provider, they call the summary sheet. No? Summary sheet. This is individual for our institute of nutrition Micro University. This is my code number that participate in that round. So in this case, it means for the participant, really easy. It combined between moisture, protein, fat, as V2, and the result like this. For the interim, you will remember, they did not provide the score. They all provide those of these things. But for the individual, they increase only the evaluation score here. So this is not evaluate. We have to see the detail why they did not evaluate. No. So this is again individual report, only one page. You know the interim. Interim is like it depends on you. If you want to have, it's okay. If you didn't have, it's okay. The individual report or summary sheet here. This is also, if you didn't have, it's okay. You have only final. It's fine for the assessor. But if you have this, I think is prefer for the laboratory, because like me, when we have 5 parameters, so it's really easy to have the summary sheet for the assessor. Okay, that is the individual report. For the final report, we have like this. This is the final report. So you can see my lab is here. This is I like my by hand by me. So you have to separate between moisture 1 table, protein 1 table, as 1 table. So it means you have to have many tables for the one report. So this is why for individual report or summary sheet, I think laboratory prefer to have this one rather than the full report. So for this question, I think it depends on you, but like if you write, I think in my opinion, I prefer to have individual report. Okay, other question is, okay, let me see. Everyone will receive. Okay, no, not the question, no. Okay, not any. I don't know. I answer everything because the slide said that we shall have the policy to use report by participant. Yeah, you can say that. Okay, the participant should use only your own result, not transfer the report to other body, other laboratory. So it means you can use limit that one. Okay. Now when we are there any question on 7?
I have a new question. In final report, can we show the results of the units using a graph instead of a table? In a table to avoid being too long.
Yeah. Okay. It depends on you, but it's not, maybe the graph may not clearly understand. I mean, let's say you have between the borderline about 1.9, z-score 1.9 and z-score 2.1, maybe it's nearly the same level in the graph, especially when you have a lot of number of participants. So maybe it's very difficult to distinguish between pass and fail in the result. But in the table it clearly demonstrates that, okay, your lab is pass or your lab is fail. But the graph, usually when we do the graph, the graph will roughly indication about the whole participant, where each lab situation within the graph. Let's say from the graph, you can see that, okay, most of the time we stay below the mean of the group or higher about even it part the criteria. But every time that you participate this parameter, you got z-score 1.9, 1.7, 1.5. It look like it look good, but if you put the monitoring of the PT program in every year, you will see this is tell you about the systematic error something, but it's still good, but have error in terms of the systematic error. So in my opinion, or not in my opinion, in the 1704, they prefer to have both table and graph, but different purpose. This is okay for QCC, UMP. I cannot link. Okay. For the qualitative program, we cannot apply. Yes. For most of the report and design, especially for qualitative, you may say that again, not applicable. Usually, I prefer you to have every sub process of each requirement, but you can say that this is not applicable to the qualitative program. No? In several program, uncertainty, methodological flexibility, or statistics, or something that may be not applicable to the qualitative. But if you ignore, you did not add anything in the report or in the planning, assessor maybe need to you to like clarification how the assessor known about you understand about the uncertainty, methodological traceability. That is why I think, yeah, we have to have, I prefer you to have everything, and on the right hand side or answer of each requirement, you can say that it's not applicable due to the qualitative program, something like that. You can use afterwards about this. Okay, good. Are there any questions? Okay, if not, I continue again. Okay, this is again from the Dan. From the control of the PT scheme process. From the PT scheme process, they also have new courses, including 7.5, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, dealing with technical record, control of data information management, and surveillance of the process. They are seen by the working group experts as the existing and well-established PTP practice that should be reflected in the revised standard. Similar requirements are also included in 17025, so this part of the alignment effort of the 17043. Okay, 7.5.1 about the technical record. The PT provider shall ensure that technical record of each PT activity contain the result report, sufficient information to facilitate, if possible, identification of factors affecting the PT performance evaluation and its associated characteristics, and enable the repetition of the PT activity under the condition as close as possible to the original. The technical record shall include the date and the entity of the personnel responsible for each PT activity and for checking data and results. So this is the new concept that Dr. Dan mentioned. So this implies that you have to have the technical record of each step that you do. Usually we have the record form. We try to have as a record form to have a checklist that you did in every time. It's good enough to fulfill every requirement, especially on the result of the participant. So this is the one that the new concept one. Okay, control the PT scheme process. The number 2 is data used to verify the PT item. The instruction to participant, the original response of participant, and any other information including in the report shall be recorded at the time, and they make and shall be identified with specific time. And again, we can see that, okay, it mentioned most of the time of the record. This process emphasize on the record. The PT provider shall ensure that amendment to technical record can be tracked to previous version. Usually, let's say when you collect something, you have to for our regulation, not regulation, sorry, for our practical way that we use in the lab, we didn't use the liquid paper. We use like to cut out and have your signature and put the new one. This is the way that we amendment. Okay, when you have the technical record, it means it deal with the data, it deal with the many documented. So it need to have the system that you ensure on the amendment. You can take back, okay, this is 25 on September, so you can take back Okay, who is amendment, when amendment, and the new amendment is also in the electronic file. No? So they said original amendment data file shall be retained. It means you have to retain both before and after your amendment. Control of data information management. The PT provider shall have an access to data and information needed to inform its activity. Who can access the data? You have to have like the security code to come into your computer and come into your file. So it depends on your policy. But some lab maybe said that okay, we have security only the computer. For the Excel file, we don't have it. Okay, it depends on you. But okay, who can access? You have to have like the list that who can access this data, who can access this computer. The PT provider information management system used for the collection, processing, recording, reporting, storage, and retrieve data shall be validated for functionality, including proper functionality in interface before introduction. Especially for the Excel, usually I think most of the PTP use the Excel. No? The Excel, this is the one that how we know that this is the formula that in the Excel is valid. So you have to validate. Usually when you have the data set, when you ask someone to do the same data set, it should be you have the same answer. This is one way that we validate. But at least you have to have 3 persons to check within each data. But when the template you use, you may have only 2. No? Let's say someone key in data the same and another one, and the result will be the same. So this is the way that we validated for functionality before use. Whenever there are any change, including PT provider software configuration, modification, or commercial off-shelf software, they shall be authorized, documented, and validated again. If you buy a software, and you modify something, you have to have who authorized and make it document and validate before implementing your data. But usually when you have the software, so usually they did not allow you to modify anything. The software actually you can buy software from the PTP. In the national level, they have the software sale in the market, available in the market. But I think I suggest you to have an Excel is okay. You don't need to buy a system or a software. Okay, the PTP information management system shall be protected from unauthorized access. So this is the previous is in the technical, this is in management. So for protect unauthorized access, safeguard against the tampering or loss to be operated in an environmental that comply with the system supplier or PTOI specification. In the case of non-computerized system, the provide condition that safeguard for accuracy, manual record, and transcription. So if you have to have specify the environmental, you have to put into the system. And be maintained in the manner that ensure the integrity of the data and information. And include the recording system error and the appropriate immediately and correction. So this is in the management system. When PT provider information management system is managed and maintained off-site or through an external services provider, the PT provider shall ensure that the external service provider or operator of the system comply with all applicable requirements of this document. This is you need to have the communication between you, PTP, and external provided service. They have to, and also offsite, no? When you have offsite PTP center, so you have to inform, to tell all the requirements that you have to the external service. That is very difficult, but you have to do. The PT provider shall ensure the instruction, manual, and reference data relevant to the PT provider information management system are made readily available to personnel. So this is when you have the management system, the PTP personnel should have readily available. They know how to searching, they know how to find the document by themselves. Calculation and data transfer shall be checked in an appropriate and systematic manner. So this is the key, that this is in terms of management system, but in the record you also did the same. You have to have the record form to check, to calculate, or to data transfer. Okay. Do you have any question? If no, I continue in the 7.5.3 on surveillance of the process. The PT provider shall have a procedure to ensure the validity of the PT scheme. The surveillance activity shall be planned and reviewed, and the resulting data shall be recorded for the continuous improvement process. So this is like when you run the PT program, you can have someone that not involving in the PT program it close to the internal audit, but this is the way that you can assess, like the in-house assess the surveillance, your plan and review, and to see the improvement that you have. Okay, this is depending on the surveillance we can include evaluation of the external provided product and service. This is the way that you do is you evaluate the provided service that you have. Let's say laboratory that do hormone stay for you. Use of reference material or other item. This is if you use the reference material, it have the certified value, it have the certification, so you can use this to the lab to monitor or to surveillance that activity, or to use the transmission of result from the participant, or control scientific condition to confirm validity, or checking the report, or this is for continuous scheme, or comparing against the previous. So there are many steps, many protocols that you can follow. For the non-conforming work, the PT provider shall have a procedure that shall be implemented where any aspect of PT scheme does not conform to its own procedure or the agreement of the requirement or the customer. So this is also, you need to have the procedure to non-NC, this we call it NC, non-conforming work. Okay, this procedure shall ensure that the responsibility and authority of management of non-conforming work are defined. The action are defined and based upon the list level. This is also, again, you can see the list is come along in every department. So this is the one that I mentioned to you many times, that in the new version you have to have the list, identify list, manage list of every step, and evaluation of significance of non-conforming work is made. If you have any significance of the NC, so it means you need to have evaluate that is already solved, that is already fitted. The decision on the need for action and time scale is taken immediately. Yeah, some NC that you found maybe need really immediately action. The PT scheme participant and customer are informed, and the NC or non-conforming PT item or PT report already sent to the bank and recall all these records. So this is the one that pay for the report. No? You have to get back and make the amendment. The responsibility for authorization of the resumption of work is defined. You have to assign who is the one that authorized that work if you can continue. The PT provider shall retain record of NC and action as specified in the previous. Where the evaluation indicates that NC can recur, that there is doubt about the compliance of the PT provider with their own procedure, so corrective action shall be promptly followed. So this is if they have something say the calibration date on August 2023. So you have to have how effect of the one that you use after the due date. Are there anything that happened? Let's say the weighing that you weigh is mistake or anything. And also you have to have like something that to prevent not to recur this problem again. Okay, when we saw the diagram, when NC works are defined, the action should be do it. Evaluate the impact. Are there any impact and correction? If it is recur, so you have to have the corrective action. If not recur, it's okay. So you can finish that NC work. The take action to control and address consequent imminent recur or elsewhere. So you have to update the list and opportunity to determine during the planning if necessary. So this is the one that you have to do. Okay. In the chat, everyone will okay, no. No, this is okay, I answer everything. No. Do you have any question? Okay, if no, I will go to the next is handling complaint and appeal. This is again not from Dan. These requirements are part of the Prop 33 mandatory working. So this is the working group. Keep the cost of 7.5 requirement that although there is not always a decision. Okay. A note is added to clarify what PT decision could be in the context of appeal. Okay, the note is PT provider that only have scheme using the theory statistics to write evaluation procedure do not usually handle appeal. Okay, appeal concerning the performance evaluation can be addressed as a complaint. So it's a little bit terminology, but this is like a appeal and complaint is close together. Okay, for the handling of the complaint, the PT provider shall have a document procedure for handling the complaint that shall be included in the following: description of the process of received potential investigation, tracking and recording the complaint, including action undertaken, and ensuring any appropriate action is taken. So when you got the complaint may be come from the participant, laboratory, from the external service, external provided service, or other. So when you got that complaint, yeah, you have to have the document and process. Who is the one that received? Who is the one that take action? and tagging the record, everything. So according to this requirement, a description of the process of handling complaint shall be publicly available. So this we have to announce in the it depends on you in the documented in the website. Okay, how the someone that want to have the complaint in your PT activity. So you have to make a public available. Upon receipt of the complaint, the PT holder shall confirm whether the complaint related to the PT activity. If so, shall resolve the complaint. So if the lab complaint, let's say complaint about the lot of parking car, so there are no need to do any action. So if we have take action only the one that concerning on the PT activity. The PT provider receive the complaint shall be responsible for the gathering necessary information. Usually, when you got the complaint, you have to know who is complaint and you have to communicate, no, and to like let them know from time to time what is the action that we taken and the problem are solved or not solved. Whenever possible, the PT shall acknowledge the receipt of the complaint and provide the complaint with the outcome and, if applicable, the process report. Investigate and resolution of the complaint shall not result in any discrimination action. Okay. The resolution of the complaint shall be made by or reviewed and approved by person not involved in the subject of complaint. Yeah, this is the one that why they have to have the public available and who is the one that got the complaint. Usually, the top usually we will complain. You may have like the Google form, the email that go to the Google form is go to the top management system that not involved in the your PT program. No, let's say to the director. So the one that intended to complain, okay, understand that okay, this complaint did not go to like the organizer or your PT program. So it may not have any action at all. But when we go higher up to the higher level, the action will be happen. Okay. Whenever possible, the PT will give formal notice of the end of the handling of complaint. Yeah, this is the one that when everything is finished, you have to inform. You have to. Usually, we use the mail to let the or letter to the one that complain. So how to do, how to deal, and what is the outcome, the output that we got. The PT provider shall be responsible for all decisions at all levels of the handling of process of complaint. Yeah, this is the shall responsible for all decisions. Handling of appeal. The PT provider shall have a documented procedure again for handling appeal, similar to complaint. No? That shall include at least following description of the process for receiving and investigation of appeal, deciding what action shall be taken in response, tagging, recording, and appeal. Let's say, ensuring the appropriate action is taken. PT provider that only have PT scheme using purely statistic derived evaluation. This is the same that okay. Dan already mentioned that this is the new that added. Appeal containing performance evaluation can be assessed as a complaint. Now, if some laboratory, complain about why my lab got the C-score over 3, so this is not a complaint. This is they can appeal if they have something wrong, okay, transfer data wrong, or assign value is not appropriate. Yeah. Concerning to the previous question in the morning, if they use the homogeneity data for the assigned value, yes, you may got the appeal. Why your lab use the homogeneity data as an assigned value? So this is appeal that you may occur, no? Okay, the description of the process of pending appeal shall be publicly available again, similar to complaint. The PT provider shall acknowledge receipt of appeal, the same. Provider receipt and appeal shall be responsible for gathering all necessary information. Yeah. Using similar to wording of complaint, but different number, no? Shall be responsible for all decision. Decision of appeal shall be made, reviewed, approved by person. Investigation on appeal shall not result in any discrimination action. Yeah, that's all for number 7. Yeah, we have now. Yeah, nearly go to the break. So I am not sure that for the remaining of the management system requirement, I think it have many slides. Okay, it's not too much. I don't know that we just, I'm not sure that because we have lunch and now do we need to have a break? Do you want to have a break or I will continue until the end and I think we may finish before the schedule? Yeah, let's say maybe for the management system, maybe I may take 30 or 40 minutes. Can I continue or we have a break? Open the microphone. I saw your mouth, but I did not hear you. Yes. Dr. Wan, which one do you prefer? Continue or stop or break? Or anybody?
I think we should have a break, please.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to prefer to have a break, it's okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's break about 15 minutes เนาะ กลับมาเมื่อไหร่คะประกาศให้ที
Have a break for the 15 minutes and come back when now is 2:25. Come back at the 2:40 minutes, 2:40. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And for the people who don't enroll the register from in the morning and for the afternoon, please complete the register 1 and 2 from now because it's for in the afternoon. Now we have the participants 41 persons, but in the information for the register in the afternoon have the only 30 person. Yeah. If you want to get the certification, you must register 2 times, morning and afternoon, and I send it again, okay, in the chat room.